Welcome to the live, man. How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Happy Saturday. You could be doing have anything you desire. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. You can think it, you can do it. If you can't think it, you can't do it. But the good news is you can think it. Once you think it, you got to think it over and over again. You can't think it once. You got to think it. You got to do what we call calibrating to what you desire. The mistake that most people make is they calibrate to what they don't want. That's a mistake most people make. They calibrate to what they don't want. But you don't do that. Because when you know better, you do better. Now you know you got to get clear about what you want. That's the first thing. You got to get clear about what you want. You got to calibrate. I mean, you got to get clarity. And after you get clarity, you got to calibrate to what you want. That's the second C. Now, if you just keep calibrating, if you just keep calibrating, no matter what they say on CNN, you just keep calibrating, even if other people don't think it's a good idea. If you just keep calibrating, even if it's not working out, if you just keep calibrating what you want, what's gonna happen is you're gonna accidentally go into the third C, confidence. Confidence. This is where real magic starts to happen. This is where real magic starts to happen when you step into that place of confidence. Confidence is step three. It's two things that has to happen before you can get confident. First, you got to get clear. You got to get clarity about what you want. Second, you got to get calibrated to that clarity. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about that foundation of success: getting clear, getting calibrated, getting confident. Getting clear, getting calibrated, getting confident. You could be doing have anything you desire, but you got to get clear, get calibrated, get confident before you take the action. A lot of people start taking action way too soon. They be trying to take action without clarity. When it ain't no clarity, it ain't nothing to calibrate to. And when there ain't nothing to calibrate to, there is no confidence. When you're not calibrated to what you want, what happens is you put your confidence in your failure, put your faith in your failure. But you are going to get clear about what you want. You're going to use what you don't want to get clarity. What's up, Angela? You're going to look at what you don't want and you're going to use what you don't want to go, what would I rather have? That's how that clarity piece starts. You're gonna get clear about what you want. You're gonna get calibrated to what you want. You're gonna get confident in what you want. What's going on, Paris? What's going on, Tammy? How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Because guys, believe me when I say this, you can be doing have anything you desire. Anything you desire. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. Your only limit in life is your own imagination. You can think it. You can calibrate to it. Therefore, you can be confident in it. It's hard to take action without that confidence, huh? It's hard to take action when you don't feel like the type of person that could do it. When you feel like you're wasting your time, when you feel like it's never gonna work, you gotta take care of that feeling first. You gotta take care of that feeling first. You gotta get clear about what you want. I'm telling you how to do it. You gotta get clear about what you want. You gotta get calibrated to what you want. And if you just keep calibrating, no matter what other people say, keep calibrating. I tried it once, it didn't work out. Calibrate again. I tried it twice, it didn't work out. Calibrate again. I tried it three times, it didn't work out. Calibrate again. Keep calibrating. That calibration gonna turn into confidence. Once that calibration turns into confidence, I'm learning your 5C and watching your past lives. Keep watching them lives. Keep watching them lives. And I got a new tool that we just finished last night that I got in my link tree that's gonna help people calibrate as well. We got a brand new product that we just released that's gonna help people calibrate. Everybody might not be in a position where they can afford to sit down with me one on one. I got a product on my link tree called the 5C Alignment Clarity and Calibration Jumpstart. It's a self-paced, it's a worksheet you go through, and it's a hypnosis session you go through. And that's gonna speed up that calibration process. So I'll be talking more about that towards the tail end of the live. But people who are like, okay, I got the clarity, now I need help calibrating to it. That tool is gonna help you refine the clarity because I learned a lot of times people think they got clarity and they barely scratch the surface. So that tool is gonna help you get clarity in all five senses. What would you see? What would you taste? What would you touch? What would you feel? What would you hear? All five senses. Then we're going to use hypnosis to get you calibrated at a cellular molecular level. Like a lot of people don't know that my background is in clinical hypnosis. That's what I do. I'm a firm believer. If you could think it, you could do it. And I've seen case after case after case after case, time after time after time after time. Well, when I taught somebody to hold it in here, accidentally they started to Take the actions necessary. You could be doing have anything you desire. The only thing that can ever stop you is you. You got to convince one person of your greatness, and that one person is you. Stop trying to convince other people that you great. Stop trying to convince other people that you dope. Stop trying to convince other people that it's a good idea. It's a full-time job convincing you. I want you to spend all your time. I want you to spend all your energy. I want you to spend all your resources on convincing you. Calibrating. That's what calibrating is. Calibration. Calibrating is the process of convincing yourself. I don't want you wasting a second trying to convince anybody about your greatness. Spend that time calibrating. Calibrating. Once the subconscious mind get a hold of it, ain't nothing gonna stop you. Once the subconscious mind lock in, it don't matter if they don't believe in. It don't matter. You gotta convince you. It's very true saying. Once you get you convinced, that thing gonna take off like a rocket. Once you get you convinced, ain't nobody gonna stop you. But if you don't ever take the time to convince you, man, listen, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So how do I get convinced? First off, you gotta get clear about what you want. Yeah, I repeat myself a lot because the formula don't change. Clarity, calibration, confidence, competence, consistency. I don't care if I'm working. I don't care if I'm helping somebody quit smoking. I don't care if I'm helping somebody lose weight. I don't care if I'm helping somebody quit biting their nails. I don't care if I'm helping somebody with PTSD. I don't care if I'm helping somebody who want to win a championship. I don't care if I'm helping somebody who just got out of a divorce and they don't feel like they can do it on their own. I don't care if I'm helping somebody who being bullied in school. Clarity, calibration, confidence, competence, consistency. What do you want? Not what you don't want. Stop thinking about that. What do you want? Okay, let's get you calibrated to what you want. Let's get you focused on what you want. Let's get you thinking about what you want. Let's get you calibrated to what you want. We're gonna keep calibrating until you accidentally become confident. Third, see, we're gonna keep calibrating until you accidentally become confident. Now, once you become confident in that outcome, competence. Now we're gonna take action. Now we're gonna take action. We're not trying to change at the beginning at those first three C's. We're not trying to change nothing out there. We're trying to change everything in here. We're not worried about changing nothing out there. The first three C's, clarity, calibration, and confidence, is all about changing the way I feel. Because when I feel different, I think different. And when I'm feeling and thinking different, I'll act different on accident. I don't gotta try to act different when I feel different. I don't gotta try to act successful. I don't gotta fake it till I make it when I feel successful. Okay? Now when I feel successful, I'm gonna start thinking successful. I'm gonna start having successful conversations. Other people who I consider successful, I'm no longer gonna shy away from those people because I feel less than. I feel like they equal. Shit, I'm successful too. Even if the bank account hasn't caught up, I feel successful. Even if the book not published yet, I feel successful. Even if my results are still loading, I feel successful. So because I feel successful, I'm able to carry on in successful conversations. I'm able to sit at successful tables because I feel successful. Now, let me ask you something. If I keep sitting at those successful tables and having those successful conversations, what you think going to happen to this bank account? If I can keep feeling successful even though the bank account is in the negative, I can keep thinking successful even though the bank account is negative. I can keep showing up feeling successful even though the bank account is in the negative. If I keep showing up in a successful state of mind, somebody gonna take a shot on me. Somebody gonna give me a chance. Somebody gonna invest in me. Somebody gonna see something in me and book a session with me if I can keep showing up successful. You following what I'm saying? But if I look at the bank account and I calibrate to the bank account and the bank and I see the bank account as a reflection of me, and I go, man, I'm broke. What you mean I'm broke? I'm not the bank account. The bank account is broke. I'm not gonna calibrate to the broken bank account. I'm a focus on success and force that bank account to calibrate to me. You got to realize that money is a symptom of being rich. Money don't make you rich. Money is a symptom of being rich. Money is a symptom of feeling rich, thinking rich, producing rich. Okay, but if you waiting on the money to give you permission to feel rich, you never get the money. The money comes after you feel rich and think rich and produce rich. The money show up on the tail end. So you can't cross your arms and go, man, I'm broke. Well, you're gonna stay broke. The, the Bible spell it out real plain for you. The Bible say the rich will get richer and the poor will lose the little that they have. That's what the Bible says. The rich will get richer, and the poor will lose the little that they have. You better stop being poor. Being happens in here. Being happens in your mind and in your heart. Being ain't got nothing to do with what's in the bank account. Okay? So you can't look at the bank account and do your being based on what you see in the bank account. You got to do your being based on where you head. Okay? So you got to be rich right now. You got to be healthy right now. You can't wait on the doctor report to be healthy. You got to be healthy. And the cells in your body are going to respond to that being. The ideas that you attract are going to respond to the state that you are being. Look, you got to, oh, do I want to get this deep into this? I'm thinking. Give me a second. Let me look at something. Let me see how we looking on time. Okay, we not finna go deep, but we finna get into this. You gotta realize that having and wanting are states of mind. Okay, you might go, well, if I want money because I don't have money. I want love because I don't have love. But let me tell you something. Having and wanting are both states of being. Have you ever been in a situation or saw somebody in a situation where they had money, and even in the having of money, they were putting themselves in a position of not having? They had it, but they were so scared of losing it that they still didn't feel like they had it. Or they in a relationship, they got love, they got a partner, but what if they leave? What if I screw this up? What if it doesn't work? Even in the having of the relationship, they still in a state of not having. Have you ever witnessed that? Or have you ever been in a situation where you ain't got no money in your pocket, but you know you got a check on the way? You know that your tax is about to hit, or you got a settlement on the way. And even though I don't physically have the money, I know, man, within a week or two, it's coming. And even though it's not here yet, I can still sit in the energy of it because I know that it's coming. You see what I'm saying? About having is about the story you tell to your nervous system. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if that's not the story you telling to your nervous system, you're not gonna feel like you got the money. Even though you in physical having, that don't mean you that your cells are in a state of having. Having is a state of being. And that state of being has nothing to do with what you actually physically have. Does that make sense? Because I'll break it down some other ways if it don't. I need that part to make sense. Having and not having are states of being, and you can create the state of having at will. That's what faith is, being able to create that state of having even in the absence of it physically. Okay, having is when you telling your nervous system a story that produces excitement. How do you flip that switch? You got to get clear about what you want. You got to get calibrated to what you want. 5C, that's how you flip it. You flip that switch with 5C. You get clear about what you want. Let's go to the board. Let's go to the board. You get clear about what you want. You get calibrated to what you want. Let's see. Let me move this chair. Get to where we can actually see the entire board. Okay. So we finna rerun through probably a very similar graphic to the one we got here. I gotta figure out where I put this eraser. Good question. How do I flip the switch? Let's talk about flipping the switch. Which one of y'all took my eraser? I don't know where it's at. Da, 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 da. I'll be around here somewhere. Oh well, this will work. Oh, eraser. I remember sitting it there now. All right, so we finna get ready to walk through this example. What y'all want to walk through this example in terms of how do you focus on just one thing when you want multiple things in life? Well, you're still gonna focus on them one at a time. Even when you read the Bible, God is creating things one at a time. He don't move on to the next thing till he notices the previous thing is good. He notices it is good, then he goes on to create the next thing. So you can have all of it, but for the process of creation, you're gonna slow down and focus on them one at a time. I got a lot of streams of income. I got a lot of businesses. I built all of them one at a time. I built all of them one at a time. Building one website is hard enough. Building one funnel is hard enough. Building one value ladder is hard enough. Building 7 value ladders at one time, mm-mm, that's not how you do it. So you're gonna get clear about what's my top priority, and I'm gonna focus on my top priority. That makes sense. You can have it, but you're gonna have to slow down. It's hard enough to get clarity on just one thing at a time. When you're trying to get clarity on all things, we gotta pick one. Now we can switch from one to the other, but we're gonna have to work on one at a time for sure. Okay, so this is you. This is you. Gotta get rid of this glare. I'm gonna have to use a darker color marker. Yeah, I got this real cool light off the TikTok shop that I love. This is you. Let me use a different color. We gotta go dark. Or you know what? Let me just add some more light in the room. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Ooh, add light. I love it. Because darkness isn't real. It's simply the absence of light. There's no way to add darkness into a room. You can only block light. All right, but how's that showing up? Okay, yeah, that's better. This is you. Make that side a little darker. That's you. Okay, that's you. And as you go through life, you gonna notice things that you don't like. You're gonna look at things and go, "Ooh, I don't like it." Now, what most people do when they notice things they don't like is they get focused on these things that they don't like, and they start making reasons why they don't like it, and they start waiting on it. How many times have you not liked the person, or you already been into it with a person, and as you on your way to where you know that person gonna be, you already in your mind, so and so better not say nothing to me, because if they say something to me, I'm not in the mood for them, because they ass out. Not today. They not even there yet. You in your own mind getting started. You in your own mind activating stuff. Whoever did that, I know I've done that before. I know I did. Not today, man. Like I'm before you even get a chance to get started. Let me tell you something. That's what we call being under the influence of what we don't want. When I say being under the influence of what I don't want, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? Because we understand, because y'all been here, y'all been rocking with me for a while. I done seen some of these names a few times. You know that we got a conscious mind, and under that conscious mind, we got a critical mind, and under that critical mind, we got our subconscious mind. Right? Y'all already know that that subconscious mind is 98% of our thinking potential, and that that conscious mind is 2% of our thinking potential. The people in here already know that. So what happens is the subconscious mind responds to whatever this 2% tells it is true. The conscious mind runs off of logic, reason, analysis, willpower, and decision making. Okay? Logic, reason, analysis, willpower, and decision making. So when you go into the situation, you're using your logic, you're using your reason, you're using your analysis to go. They always do this type of stuff. I already know them. I already know how this gonna go. You're using your logic to tell yourself what's gonna go on. But after you've used that logic several times, the subconscious mind is a pattern learning machine. It follows that 2%. So you got these negative associations going through there. So now you got the negative associations up here. You taught this part of you to have the negative associations as well. And this critical mind, what it does is it generalizes, distorts, and deletes to protect what it believes to be true. So you could be under the influence of this, and you could walk up on that person, and that person can actually start being nice to you today. But the critical mind gonna say, they up to something. They up to something. I don't know what it is, but they never that nice. The critical mind is gonna protect these associations, good or bad. So when you under the influence of what you don't want, sometimes you got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind working against you. But if you've taught the subconscious mind that negative pattern just by constantly exposing it to it, the 98% is operating as if this is true, even when it isn't. Okay, even when it isn't. So what we got to start doing, this is what 5C is all about. 5C is all about looking at this thing that I don't like and going, well, what would I rather have? Then we start answering that question. We start filling in the details about what we'll rather have. We start getting descriptive about what we'll rather have. I'd rather have a work environment where it's chill, with good benefits and good pay and vacation time. I want the people I work with to be some of my best friends. I want a healthy company culture. I want us to have picnics and parties and all types of cool stuff. We start getting descriptive about what we want. Now, as we get descriptive about what we want, what we doing is we feeling turning those negative associations into positive associations. Now, as we keep doing that, especially with repetition and emotion, those are our secret weapons for rewiring this 98%. Repetition and emotion. Repetition and emotion. What we do is we make a whole bunch of positive associations in this 98%. And you got to remember, this critical mind is going to generalize, distort, and delete to protect whatever is in here. So if you fill this up with positive associations about what you desire, this critical mind is going to generalize, distort, and delete to protect these associations. So even when it's not the best day, the critical mind going to generalize, distort, and delete what you see going on out there to protect these positive associations. Even when somebody call your idea stupid, the critical mind gonna go, man, they can't see it. Don't even worry about them. It's a great idea. It's gonna delete them. It's gonna distort them and make them fall in obedience to these positive expectancies. Calibration. I'm not gonna say it's the most important part of the 5C process because you can't calibrate without clarity. But this is where transformation begins in that calibration phase. Transformation begins with calibration. You start feeling different when you start calibrating different. Because getting clarity, you're not gonna start to see a difference just from getting clarity. But you need that difference. I mean, you need that clarity because that's what you're gonna get calibrated to. But you start to actually see a shift in your life as you start to calibrate. You start to get a higher quality of ideas as you start to calibrate. People start to want to do business with you as you start to calibrate. The bank account starts to respond to the change as you calibrate. Calibration is not the most every step is so important for its own reason. But are we seeing why we got to calibrate? We don't got access to the really good ideas until we calibrate. 98% of us is working against us if we're not calibrated. Get calibrated, get clear about what you want, and start thinking in terms of what you want. Stop having conversations about, I don't like this and I don't want that. And No, what do you want? Make what you want the center of your focus. You got to make what you want the center of your focus. Is this making sense, guys? What you want has to be the center of your focus. You can't sit here and think about what you don't want. Because thinking about what you don't want, you're gonna start to feel in terms of what you don't want. And when you're feeling in terms of what you don't want, you acting in terms of what you don't want. Y'all with me? You can be, do, and have anything you desire, but anger is not desire. Pissed off is not desire. Complaining is not desire. Desire looks like getting clear about what you want and focusing on what you want. I done told y'all the story about how my daughter asked me for things. Riley would come in there and go, Daddy, I just saw this dollhouse on TV. And when I get it, Daddy, I'm gonna put it right beside my other dollhouse. And 5 of my Barbies gonna stay in that dollhouse, Daddy. And my other 8 Barbies, they gonna stay in a new one because it's bigger. I'm like, bad baby. Where this dollhouse at? Amazon, Target? Because my baby finna get this dollhouse. She came in there under the influence of what she wanted. And she's smiling like she already got it. She happy as hell like she already got it. I can't imagine wiping that smile off my baby's face. We going to get that dollhouse. Her mama going, Jay, she don't need another dog. Man, I don't care about none of that. My baby is excited about having this dollhouse. But imagine if my baby came in there and she went, Daddy, that old dollhouse you got me, it's stupid. None of my Barbies can't fit in it. I don't like it. I need another dollhouse. It'd be so easy for me to say no to her from there. It'd be really easy to say, Riley, get your little ungrateful self out of my face. Matter of fact, go clean your room. Let's see if your mom needs some help with some stuff around the house. You see the difference? She asking for the same dollhouse. But in one form, she under the influence of having it, and in the other form, she under the influence of not having it. In one form, she under the influence of abundance. In the other form, she's under the influence of lack. When she's under the influence of lack, when she's under the influence of not enough, she comes off as an ungrateful brat. But when she's under the influence of abundance, when she's under the influence of plenty, she comes off as daddy sweet little girl, and the wallet comes out with no effort. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? When she come in and go, Daddy, I just saw this dollhouse on TV, and when I get it, Daddy, I'm gonna put it right beside my other dollhouse. My other 5 Barbies, they gonna stay in my old dollhouse because it's not as big as this one. But this new dollhouse, Daddy, it has 10 rooms. My other 10 Barbies gonna stay in the new dollhouse, Daddy. I can't wait to go out and get that. I want to go get that dollhouse for her. I will stop what I'm doing and go get that dollhouse for her when she come and talk to me from under the influence of what she desires. But if she come in there with a bratty attitude, complaining about not having a dollhouse, how the other dollhouse is too small and it's stupid, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing to go get that dollhouse. She'd be lucky if she ever see that dollhouse. Get under the influence of what you want and then do your asking. Get clear about what you want. This is the 5C process, guys. Very simple process. Have I told y'all the story about how I came up with the 5C process? Story time. So, some years ago, I started getting jealous of my clients. I saw the results they were making. I saw the period of time they were making those results in, and my stuff was going good. But my clients were, boy, they were taking off like a rocket. So I said, you know what? Y'all not leaving me behind. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m., I'm gonna start doing a session on myself. I'm gonna become my own client. I started working on myself every Wednesday at 10 a.m. But I had a little problem. I didn't know how to turn my process inward. I knew how to turn it outward. I've been doing it for 2 decades, but I didn't know how to turn my process inward. So what I did is I started recording every session. I started recording my sessions and I would listen back to my sessions. No, this is me. I'm right here. She says, this a rerun? This is me. But I started listening back to my sessions. And what I realized as I was listening back to these sessions is I always did 5 things, always in the same order. And I never moved on to step 2 until step 1 was complete. Didn't move on to step 3 till step 2 was complete. And the first thing I always did is I got clarity. What do you want? What my doctor said, I don't care what your doctor said. What do you want? What my wife said, I don't care what your wife said. What do you want? If your doctor saying that was gonna have an effect on you, you wouldn't be sitting in my office. If your wife saying that was gonna flip the switch, you wouldn't be sitting in my office. You're in my office. What do you want? My wife said I need to come talk to you. I don't Hey, listen to me. What do you want? I gotta quit smoking. That's what you gotta do. That's not what I asked you. What do you want? All right, put the question in, Latasha. What do you want? Then after we did some digging, they would eventually tell me what they want. Now, once I knew what they wanted, we could move on to the second C, which was calibrate. I'm gonna get you calibrated to what you want. Listen, guys, one of the things that you really gotta understand if you ever want to be influential in life is people do things for one reason and one reason only. You guys give me some guess. What's the one reason people do things? One reason and one reason only. The only reason people do things. Not love. Love can trigger this reason, but it's not the reason. All right, I'm gonna give it to you. People do things because they feel like it. People do things because they feel like it. That's the only reason people do things because they feel like it. Why am I seeing myself with everything I want in my dreams but can't pull it here? So the thing is, you're not gonna pull it here. You're going to allow it here. And then we got to ask yourself, when you're scripting, are you scripting from under the influence of what you don't want? Because like you could be doing affirmations, you could be praying, you could be journaling, you could be doing focus wheels, but you could be doing that as you think about what you don't want. And when you're scripting, you got to learn how to script because it feels good. You can't, because when you're scripting, because I don't have this thing that I don't want, the energy is still I don't have this thing that I want. Let me script because I don't have this thing that I want and it's not here yet. So let me do my scripting so I can get this thing that's not here yet. So let me do this exercise so I can get this thing that's not here yet. You see that energetic mix up? It's like being in a relationship with somebody who doing all the right stuff, but they doing it so you won't be mad at them. Let me take her on a date so she won't be mad at me. Let me do this so she won't be mad at me. So I'm saying all the right stuff and doing all the right stuff, but the energy behind it is so she won't be mad at me. I speak as if this has already happened to bring on emotions, but you're doing it as a process to get this thing that I don't have. I'm getting excited because I got to. Like it's like I'm getting excited because I got to because it's this thing that I want that I don't have. So you see how the energy is still landing on this thing that I don't have that I want. So you gotta take the got to out of it. You gotta take the got to out of it, and scripting gotta become this thing that you enjoy. If you want to go a little deeper, what give me some of the pieces of what you want. Because it's got to be some vibrational hangups. And you got to also understand that everything has a gestation period. I don't care how many affirmations you do, it take 9 months for a baby to get here. And you can do all the affirmations you want. You can take extra prenatal vitamins. You can do everything. It's gonna take 9 months for the baby to get here. And if that baby came in 3 months, it wouldn't be good. If that baby came in 4 months, it wouldn't be good. So sometimes it's just not ready. But I'm feeling a vibrational hang up. What's fun about it? I heard if you see it, it's coming. But you see how everything is motivated by the it's coming. You see, the thing propelling everything is the it's coming. So what's happened is you jump to step 4 of the 5C process without satisfying those first 3 C's. Okay, you've jumped to step 4 without satisfying those first 3 C's. Let's go to the board. Let's start this illustration over. Where my eraser? If I could keep up with this eraser, we would be okay. There it is. There it is. I was gonna say, and I got if you go to my link tree, that top product on there is a clarity calibration booster. It's $49. It's gonna help you do exactly this process that we finna talk about. But okay, so how big is that? Yeah, y'all can see that. When a baby is first born, man, how's that drain that actually knocked on my door? I got you. But that can also be a venting drink. So let me tell and there's a lot of ways we can go with this. Let's run through this example. Give me a second. Okay, so when a baby is first born, mine is a blank slate, completely blank slate, except for what we call the primitive mind. The primitive mind is this pre-programmed portion of mind where we have our friends fight and flight. You guys have heard of fight or flight, right? And we all know, well, my people who be coming in here, a baby's only born with two fears. What are those two fears that a baby is born with? Fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. Only two ways you finna scare a newborn baby. You can put a newborn baby on a stage in front of 10,000 people, that newborn baby not gonna get nervous. You can tell a newborn baby that they didn't win the contest, the newborn baby not finna get nervous, not finna get upset. You can tell a newborn baby, hey, we just got evicted, we don't got nowhere to stay. Not saying that it won't have an effect on the baby. I'm just saying the baby not gonna activate fight or flight. It's gonna it's just gonna be in the moment. Now between the ages of 0 and 8, the baby's in a state very similar to hypnosis. The baby is in a state of what we call hyper suggestibility. The baby is in a learning state. That's really what hypnosis is. Hypnosis is a learning state. And you spend the first 8 years in your life in that learning state. Okay? So let's say while you in that learning state, let's say you learned that chocolate chip cookies are tasty and they make me feel happy. And every time I fall down to hurt myself, mom gives me a chocolate chip cookie. Those chocolate chip cookies are, boy, 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 they're delicious. I love those chocolate chip cookies. But it's not just the way they taste, it's the feelings that I associate with those chocolate chip cookies that I love. Let's say I grew up in a house with a dog. I love this dog. I cuddle with this dog. This dog protects me. This dog is my best friend. I make positive associations towards dogs. Let's say somebody else gets attacked by a dog as a kid. They make negative associations towards dogs. Two people can be looking at that same exact dog, but they're going to respond differently, not because of the dog, but because of their associations. So let's say between the ages of 0 and 8, while you were bringing in all of these associations, let's say you picked up some negative associations around money. Let's say your parents said things like, man, it's never enough money. It's always more money than money. I'm always taking 2 steps forward just to take 1 step back. And you learned these negative associations around money. If these negative associations are in here, they're working. Okay. And you can do all of the affirmations, you can do all of the journaling, you can do all of the scripting you want. If we don't clean those negative associations around money up, it's not coming. Okay. So around the age of 9, you start to develop what we refer to as the critical mind. And what the critical mind does is it generalizes, distorts, and deletes to protect these to protect these associations. So if you got a negative association around dogs and dogs are scary and dogs bite, somebody might go, "Oh, my dog don't bite." Your critical mind gonna say it got teeth, don't it got teeth, don't. That's what the critical mind gonna say. But somebody who got positive associations around dogs, they might see you acting scared of that dog. Go, you scared of this little old cute dog? Come here, dog. Don't worry about her. Same dog, but a different set of associations related to the dog, so it's a different response to the dogs. Somebody without these negative associations to money could do those scripting exercises and it'll show right up. But if these negative associations are here, we got to get from under the influence of those negative associations first. Then on top of the critical mind, we got the conscious mind. Conscious mind runs off logic, reason, analysis, willpower, and decision making. Okay, this is the subconscious mind down here, by the way. And the subconscious mind is, let's get another color, 98% of our thinking potential. Whereas the conscious mind is only 2%. So right now, what's going on in your situation is the conscious mind has decided that it would be a good idea to win this money from the clearinghouse. Okay? Subconscious mind has said, yo, it'd be a really good idea if I can win this money. Logically, it's an easy way to do it. It makes sense. When I use my reasoning, that makes sense. I use my analysis, that makes sense. So the 2% is brought in. The 2% is like, good idea, let's do it. Okay. I told you the 2% runs off logic, reason, analysis, willpower, and decision making. The 98% runs off of feeling and emotion. So right now, you got the 2% wanting to go this way, and you got the 98% going this way. We got a problem. Okay. And we're using logic, reason, and analysis saying, well, somebody told me that if I see it, it's going to happen. And I'm seeing it, but it's not happening. And I'm seeing it, but it's not happening. I've been seeing it. I've been doing what they told me to do, and it's not happening. And the not happening is making negative associations here around the not happening. So what we got to do is get, because right now you under the influence of what you don't want. It's not happening, and that's what you under the influence of. It still hasn't happened. Okay? And every time you do those affirmations, it's a feeling of, let me do these affirmations again because it hasn't happened yet. Let me do these affirmations again because it still hasn't happened yet. Let me do these affirmations again because it hasn't happened. You got to say, well, what do I want to happen? And I'm gonna give you a suggestion, and it's just that it's a suggestion. Don't limit source to a publisher clearinghouse contest. Okay? There's so many avenues that source can work through. What I would rather have is abundance. What I'd rather have is more than enough. I'd rather have choice. I'd rather have freedom. I want randomness. I want money to come to me in fun ways. I want money to find me in creative ways. I want to attract money in doing things that I enjoy. Okay? And you're gonna start focusing on this. From under the influence of this, you might realize I don't even feel like scripting. I don't want to script. Some other stuff I want to do. But I want you to, and this is me saying stuff. I want you to ask yourself, what would I rather have? And I want you to start filling in what you would rather have. Okay? You tracking with me so far? I wanted the experience, even in the language though, it's wanted. I'm giving up on the desire because it's not happening. Follow me. It's not happening. What do I want to happen? I want to win. I love the feeling of win. I want some. I want random money. I want money that I didn't have to exchange time, energy, and effort for. I want money that comes to me in fun, joy-filled ways. You're gonna get descriptive about what you want, clarity. You're gonna get clear about what you want. Okay? Because I'm feeling like, even I haven't talked to you, but this is just the energy I'm picking up, and it's over text. I'm feeling like even the publishing clearinghouse was like I don't ever think it was a bleep. It was like a Hail Mary pass. It's 2 seconds on the clock. We down by three. It was like a last ditch effort because of a limiting bleep that's down here that I don't have the potential to earn it. That's what I'm picking up. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting a sense of. I'm wrong like once or twice a year. So this might be one of those times. But I'm getting a sense that this winning this contest was a giving birth by one of these negative associations as a last ditch effort because I don't have the capacity to go out. My only way to ever have that type of money is if it just miraculously happened. I just wanted that experience. Are you open to the money coming through other experiences? Are you open to the idea of other contests? Are you open to the idea of finding a piece of it over here on the ground? Are you open to the idea of a bank error in your favor? Are you open to the idea of a client leaving you a huge, generous tip? Are you open to the idea of somebody you didn't even know cared about you that much leaving you? And they like, are you open to other ideas, or is it just I'm gonna cross my arm and this is the only avenue I'm willing to allow it through? Because when you get that specific, you can probably got somebody else wanting that same exact instance, wanting that same exact thing. But when you can open up a little bit, get clear on what you want. This is where the change happens when you start getting calibrated to what you want. So when you get clear on what you want, the first time it comes in here, the critical mind might not recognize it because it's unfamiliar. So it'll reject it. What we're going to use is two tools. We're going to use repetition and emotion. We're going to use repetition and emotion. And we're going to keep introducing this idea to the critical mind. We're going to keep introducing this idea to the critical mind. We're going to keep introducing this idea to the critical mind. We're going to keep introducing this idea to the critical mind. Eventually, the critical mind is going to start to open up and it's going to start to let new associations come in. What I want you to do is get the subconscious mind full of positive associations around having money, full of positive associations around having money in ways that I didn't have to do backbreaking work for. And from there, I want you to find the two. Because right now, the scripting is something that you're doing because you got to do it. If the money was already here, you wouldn't still be scripting. Okay. I want you to get full of positive associations and then see what feels right from there. This is a step that we missed the first time around. We started doing the scripting while we were still full of negative associations. And we started doing the scripting to get what we wanted, even though the negative associations were there. Take a break from the scripting. Fuck the scripting. Stop scripting. It's hanging you up right now. Direction. So it's one thing to know it. When you know it, it's in the 2%. You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Okay? You got to feel it. You got to stop taking score. That's why we don't even take action until the fourth step in the 5C program. Action is step 4. It was some stuff that had to happen before the script started. You ever heard the example I give about like if I'm working with somebody with weight loss? You can ask for an experience, but you got to understand with an experience, you constantly can witness that it's not here yet. With something that specific, you constantly witnessing that it's not here yet. You go another day that they didn't show up with the balloons. Forget about the fact that I found $20 on the ground today. Here go another day that they didn't show up with the balloons. Forget about the fact that the lady had forgot to scan my so and so at the store, and I said, "Hey, you forgot my." She said, "Don't worry about it. It's on the house." They didn't show up with the balloons. Forget about the fact that it was my birthday and I got gifts from a relative who I never even thought she's never gave me enough for my birthday. She just gave me $500, but they didn't show up with my balloons. So what happened is source, the universe, God is moving you there, but every time you notice it's not here yet, you pull yourself back. Then you try to script your way back, but it's kind of like they're taking two steps back. Yeah, so focus on that. Get in alignment with that. I gotta be one of the luckiest people in the world. I gotta be one of the luckiest people in the world. Sit with that. And as you just align with that, other things gonna start happening. But when all of your energy is going into, let me do this scripting so I create this experience that hasn't happened yet. It's always ended on the hasn't happened yet.